Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Money Mindfest Manifesting Business Show. We have got the gorgeous Viktoria Chervenkova. Vicky, tell me if I've said that wrong. Viktoria Chervenkova with us. We are going to be talking about entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, their finances, and their money archetypes. As a goddess archetype, this is such a beautiful topic. It is so feminine and so goddess-like and so divine. I get chills just thinking of it. Vicky, welcome to the show. I'm so honored to have you as a guest on the show. Please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, Yvette. Thank you for having me here and giving me this opportunity to share about my work and what I do. So going back like 15 years ago, I started my entrepreneurship journey. I led the corporate career path and I became a freelancer working with companies and individuals around the world. I'm a mom of two daughters, a wife, housewife, and I managed to, really balance entrepreneurship with uh, just being a woman and everything that comes out of it.
Yeah.
And after, like 20 years working on the marketing side of business, because that's what I used to do, but I'm like moving away from that personality now, and I'm stepping into a totally different sphere. So on my journey, I taught myself a lot about personal finances because I found myself at a point where, the kids kind of grew up old enough so that they can take care of themselves. And that opened up a little bit of space for me, like mental space, where I could start thinking about the future and what we want to achieve and how our lives will look like in 20, 30 years from now. And when I started doing that, I actually found, with horror that if I rely on our pension system here in my country, this will lead us to a life of total misery. Like 90% of retirees around me live life below the level that, any dignified humans should live. Like they're struggling. That's yeah. So that struck me. That struck me very hard, and I knew I had to learn. I knew I had to learn about personal finance and managing money, and I self-educated, with thousands of articles and books and courses and online seminars and in-person seminars. Like I was devouring all this knowledge. I had a lot to catch up with, right? Because I've not done that for a very long time. And now all of a sudden I need to condense this information into something that I could put in practice. So I started doing that. I started investing. I started budgeting and all of that, everything that goes with managing money. And slowly, this path like led me to creating my own blog where I started to share everything that I've learned because it's been years of piling together this information and like I need to share it now. There's so many women that need this. And and yeah, that's where I am right now, just sharing everything that I've learned over the years so that other people don't need to take, that long path to
Yes.
learn money.
I love that, and I love how you're helping women with it because before we hit record, Vicky and I were talking about women and how scared they are of finances because it's a man's world, right? And it's masculine, and we feel like we don't fit in, and if we do, we're almost like a masculine woman. You're right, it's like all these things about finances. You want someone else to take care of it for you. And then you mentioned, Vicky, this book that you wrote. Tell us a little bit about the book. Tell me, how did you even think of writing a book like this? And just tell me a little bit about this gorgeous book of yours. And if you have it with You're welcome to show us. Yes, please.
Yes. I don't know
Oh,
if it
look.
you can see it clearly. I know
The woman, yes, but I can see there we go. Perfect like that. Unleash. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Tell us about this book, Vicky.
so the story of how this book got born,
Yeah.
I like to say that it just got born because
Yes.
it feels like I didn't write it. It just came out.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
The story, like the full story, is explained in the introductory pages of the book that actually anyone can read on Amazon because it gives you the first few pages and you
Yes.
can get a taste of what the book is like. But in condensed format, I was sitting at this online seminar about finances and managing money, and people were talking about investments and stocks and funds and all of that, like the usual masculine way
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
yes, seeing money and managing money. And one of the special guests was one of my favorite authors on money, Morgan Housel, who wrote The Psychology of Money. Like
Wow.
this is my absolutely favorite book on finances. And the reason why is because he doesn't go deep into calculations or stock prices or anything like that. He tells real life stories to make a point about how we behave with money. And he was presenting on that seminar, and I thought to myself, well, this is exactly how people should be learning about money, and especially women, because our relationship to money is totally different from the masculine way of looking at it and managing it and, being aggressive. And, every time we think about money and Wall Street, we think about these men in suits on
Yes.
the
Yes.
New York Stock Exchange
Yeah.
shouting, buying and selling. It's like this cacophony. Uh,
Yeah.
but Morgan tells stories about money in a very interesting and enlightening way. And I was thinking, yes, this is how we should do it. At the very same time that I was watching this webinar, I was reading a book by Carol Pearson, Persephone Rising. It's all about mythological, ancient god and goddesses archetypes and
Oh,
how our behavior in our current reality just reflects some specific archetypal features and personality traits that have come to us through all these years, like thousands of years. And these two things just coincided so
oh,
interestingly together. It just
oh.
was like a light bulb moment,
Yeah, you were so divinely guided, right? It was
Uh,
like, "Ah, this is what you need to do. Connect the dots." I get goosebumps. I love this so much. Sorry to interrupt you. I had to just have a moment.
yeah, for sure. So that's how it all came together. It just blended in such a natural way. And here's the thing, when I shared my idea with my husband, who is like my biggest supporter and my
Yeah,
biggest critique at the
yeah,
same time, that I've been coming up with different business ideas all the time. It's my thing. And he
yes.
would always tell me, no, this is, you'll have such and such challenges with this. This doesn't sound right. And when I told him about this idea, he was like, babe, that's it. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, oh,
Oh, that
he
is
felt it.
so beautiful for a man to acknowledge something feminine like that and to have the vision that this can work. Oh, that is beautiful. That is
He said,
beautiful.
this message needs to get out. You need to spread it. You need to give it some form. That's when the writing of the book just came in place. And as I said, it was like a divine download because it got written so fast. It's
Ah,
like I didn't do much. It just came out.
oh. Okay, so tell us the title of your book, because we haven't actually even mentioned the title. It wasn't completely clear on screen, but I need listeners to really, and whoever is viewing this, to really just understand where you're coming from. This title to me is so powerful. It tells us exactly what to expect.
Yes. So the title is Unleash Your Inner Money Goddess, Ancient Female Wisdom for Modern Wealth.
Oh,
So
okay. If you are watching this, tell us if that doesn't give you goosebumps in the comments. Tell us if you aren't even more interested in knowing about the ancient goddess archetypes. So, Vicky, what is your archetype? Because you obviously go into the book and explain the various archetypes. Tell us a little bit about your archetype and how you access her power through your money journey.
yeah, so my primary goddess archetype is Athena from Greek mythology. And Athena is such a powerful blend of a lot of masculine energy in her, but also, of course, the feminine side, because she is a strategist. She is a planner. She is a doer, like an action taker. And she connects so powerfully with our like inherent understanding of how to manage money. Like you need to come up with a spreadsheet and budgeting and tracking your expenses. Like that's all her energy. And I was like that. I'm still like primarily like that. Because when I started on my journey, I created like the most complicated Excel spreadsheet you can ever imagine. Like,
Really?
absolutely. It had all these rows and columns and
Oh,
how much money is coming in, how much did we spend, what kind of, what percentage would go to saving for this, for the kids,
wow.
for this fund, and then how much we need to invest in funds and real estate and what it was amazing. And I was so much into it. Like it came naturally to me. That's
Sure.
why I say
It's a
Athena is my
talent. Yeah.
primary archetype
Yeah.
because it comes naturally to me. But I've come to realize that through working on the book, that we are all a blend of different archetypes. And you may have like a primary goddess inside of you speaking and getting you to behave in a certain way, but you can also take lessons from the other archetypes just to balance things out and make it more like flowing and letting it unfold before you. So one of the other goddess archetypes I'll mention, Lakshmi, she's from Hindu mythology, and
Really?
she's the queen of abundance. She is the queen
Wow.
of flow, of
Oh,
wealth, of beauty, of just allowing wealth to come to you and to manifest for you. It's like it's with ease and with grace. And I felt like I need to bring more of that energy into my life as well because Athena was just so strong.
yes. Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, there are practices that you can try, you can embody, so that you can get more connected with the other archetypes and see which feels good for you. I mean,
yeah, natural.
yeah.
Sure. I
Mhm.
feel it's as if you are going to read about this archetype and like, oh, I want to be like that. That is the quality that I'm drawn to. Can you tell us maybe two or three other archetypes? Just to I find it fascinating. I can talk to you for days about this, but just for the audience that they can just get a little glimpse, especially if they've never heard of archetypes. And everyone watching or listening, you can absolutely also drop in the comments. Have you ever heard of goddess archetypes? It's very much, I would say, like your astrology sign, right? Or human design or your Enneagram number. It is just to get you to understand how you function and operate, and then start spreading like your feelers almost and incorporating that. So if you could just tell us two or three others, it will be fascinating to see what sparks for the audience, especially.
For sure. So the other archetype that I really love and I feel so connected with is again from Greek mythology. She's Hecate. And excuse me, Hecate is the mistress of intuition, and she lights the paths that are available to us.
Wow.
It We can tap into her energy every time we're not sure which way to go. So she is depicted wearing torches and holding keys. So she is the one to unlock all
Yeah.
these possibilities for us, shed the light, and then let you pick because it's up to you. It's your choice.
Oh,
But she will help you see the options.
yes. Right. Help you
She-
see. That is so good, right? It's just unleash that veil. Let me like see
Mm,
clearly. I love that. That's beautiful.
yes.
That's
Yes,
beautiful.
she's all about mystery and intuition, like really moving, letting your inner wisdom guide you, even though you're not sure why you're doing it or that it seems totally illogical. And there is a real life story. I mean, for each goddess, there is a real life story that depicts how this shows up in real life. Uh, Stories of women who have embodied this kind of energy.
Wow.
And the others that I touch upon are Isis from Egyptian mythology. Now, her journey was really, um, really tough. Her whole world fell apart. She had to bring the pieces all together so she could rebuild her life and leave a legacy for those behind her. So she is really powerful and she is about protection. She is about finding your strengths and finding those pieces that you can blend into something new, something meaningful, something that, yes, will leave a legacy behind you. And then we have Persephone, again from Greek mythology. Now, her journey is like the scariest you can imagine because she went from a goddess that represents spring and bloom and joy and just beauty and nature. She went to become the queen of the underworld, of the dead.
Oh my word. Oh my goodness. That's a plot twist.
For anyone who's not familiar with Persephone's story, it's a journey of total transformation, like the craziest thing you can go through in life. And it tells us how by being flexible and persistent and finding our new me in those new circumstances can lift you up and you can be a goddess no matter what.
Wow. Oh, that is so lovely. So we're talking specifically on connecting your goddess archetype to money and finances. So tell me, can you use these archetypes in other areas of your life to almost explore that in a different way as well?
Yes, and I'll share a personal example of how this work helped me. It was in a totally unexpected way, and that's the beauty of it. Once you get to do this inner work, and it doesn't matter if it's through goddess archetypes or some other work that has you explore yourself and go deeper and find out more about yourself. The idea is to dig up those layers of immortal wisdom that's
Wow.
within you and just work with it. And yes, in the book, I talk about how to apply that into finances. But as I completed the book and started living more into these different goddess energies, a funny thing happened. So I have always been conscious of my body. Like there are parts that I enjoy, I'm totally okay with, but there is just one single part of my body that I just could never accept ever since I was a teenager. And I
Oh,
tried diets, I tried, working out. all the things that you can try, but it just never disappeared. It never looked the way I wanted it. So a couple of months ago, I go to the bathroom, take a shower, and I take a look in the mirror. And this time I hear this, like, it's not a voice, just a thought that came to
Yes,
me. Yeah,
yes.
that said, you're not supposed to look like a fashion magazine cover model. You're a goddess, and goddesses come in all shapes and forms. And if you look at Renaissance art, like paintings and sculptures,
Yes.
they, they're also
Really?
gorgeous and curvy, and that's totally fine. And that was my revelation. And I finally accepted this particular part and like the whole of me. And now we have this funny line with my husband when I do something or decide not to do something, and he would ask me why. And I was like, it's not a goddess thing, or it is a goddess thing. So
There you go. That is beautiful. It's almost like you take on the identity of her energy and then take action from that instead of action from, I'm just human, little old me. Who am I to do amazing things? You've now got this goddess energy, right? I wish I had my crown. I've got a plastic toy crown that I love putting on every now and again. And just yesterday, a friend actually said to me, when you feel down, put your crown on, because if you look down, it's going to fall off and it will keep your chin up. I'm like, yes, I know that. How did I forget that? And that crown symbolizes to me that energy of that archetype, that goddess in you. If you just keep remembering, right? Because your ego is going to try and let you forget about it. Just take action from there and think from there and believe from there. Oh, it's so gorgeous. One question that I want to ask you, because there are so many books out there on money and finances. Yes, there's a lot of women writing books nowadays as well, but I think like the big books are always the men writing it, right? What is, if you could maybe tell us even one teaching that you teach in your book that we won't find in those books, right? The typical financial money books.
yes,
What would
yes.
it be?
So one thing that I've noticed in the majority of the books that I've read, and I've read like dozens and dozens of them, and yes, most of them are written by men, and they present money and managing money. Even if the book is meant for women, it's presented in a way that you can doubt, like you don't really feel the connection. And because it's such a masculine energy, we tend to think that money is a man's world.
Yeah.
But if you dig deeper and you come to the realization that money in its essence being a frequency, a vibration, energy, it is actually feminine energy. Why? Because the way we use money is all connected to the feminine ways of building something, nurturing, taking care of others, taking care of ourselves, leaving a legacy behind us, making sure others okay, we are okay, and really taking that nurturing journey through money as a tool. And so money becomes just a tool, but it has this feminine energy in it. So that's what I'm focusing on in the book. But the interesting thing, for example, what other books and courses and programs and seminars they will teach you about money that I don't have in
Yeah.
my book is, first of all, that there is no one size fits all uh, approach to money. That's why we have 5 different goddesses, and there are many more that you can explore, of course, but I'm starting with these 5. And then 2, most of the financial advice, especially for women, comes in the form of you need to save more. You don't have to spend on luxury items. Cut your latte, cut your dress, cut this, cut that. It's
Yep.
so contracting. Like you can feel it like inside, even as I'm speaking about it, like it feels like you're depriving yourself, like you're contracting. And that's the totally opposite of how you're supposed to work with the energy of money. It needs to feel abundant. There are ways to save that feel like expansion, not contraction. And that's what I love most about the book because it helps you see a way to manage your money that's not limiting you, that's not asking you to, stay within some boundaries that don't feel good. Instead, it opens your eyes into how you can expand more. How can you tap into this energy of these fabulous goddesses and take their lessons so that you can live life in more harmony, more abundance, and more wealth in the long run. That's very
Yeah.
important.
What comes to me when you're talking about that is they kind of teach you from a lack mentality, right? The
Yeah.
scarcity and the lack, and trying to cut corners and put it in a box. And it makes it so, I think, frustrating as well. And then the other side is this abundant mentality where there's possibilities and expansion. I love teaching my students and clients about creating in the feminine, like really connecting to the feminine aspect, calling money in and creating through that. Very much through your body and the nurturing. And it's exactly what you're saying. I'm resonating so much with what you're saying. And it comes from, I think, like this hustle society. It's the masculine, it's the hustle, and it's like, don't have a latte every day. And God knows, don't spend that on a handbag. And I think women start feeling a lot of guilt when they want to make a lot of money because it's, oh, you're spending it on a handbag. And I think there's a lot of guilt in that, where if you're creating it from the feminine, of course you want a beautiful handbag. You're right, it's just a different mindset. It's soft and beautiful, and I love everything about it. I think it's so divine. So Vicky, you've mentioned that your book is on Amazon. I know you also mentioned, and I'm going to just tell the audience so that you know, Vicky says her book is free for Kindle Unlimited users, right? So if you are a Kindle Unlimited user, go and get the book. The link is in the description below. Or, and this is super exciting, everybody, Vicky has created a quiz for all of us so that we can uncover our own goddess archetypes. The quiz is in the description. Go and click that link. Do that quiz. Tell us a little bit more about this quiz, Vicky. What can they expect when they take this quiz?
Sure.
I'm for sure going to be taking the quiz. Can I just tell you? Okay, and then the second question before I forget about it is, will the quiz, does it give us what our main archetype, or does it give us like and different levels, or can we go in and see which one else, which other one we want to incorporate?
Sure. So yes, there will be a link to the quiz, and the quiz is really short, like 7 questions, but to the point. It should take you not more than 3 to 5 minutes. And yes, it does tell you your primary goddess archetype, but the way it is structured and the points that are allocated to each question and each answer will actually give you your secondary goddess, and then what comes like more into the deeper work. But you will see all of these archetypal behaviors and mindset also when it comes to money, how you represent those. So you have the primary, you then can see like who's second, third, fourth, fifth. The idea about the quiz actually came from a friend of mine who read the book, and she was like, okay, I love the book. Give me the next step. Okay, do I need to do? Uh, Give me something, that I can process myself so that I can get
Yeah.
even more out of the book. Uh,
Yes.
so that's how the quiz came up.
I love that. Um, are there any other ways that people can work with you? Do you have any programs? Do you do one-on-one? How else can people work with you if they want to dive deeper into this and not necessarily just go ahead and do it on their own? I mean, for example, say I go and do the quiz and I now know my archetype and I have no idea how to incorporate her with my money journey or any journey. Do you have anything even deeper that people can work with you and do deeper work?
Yes, this again came from someone who read the book,
Okay.
and she's like, "Okay, now I know my archetype, I know my strengths, I know my shadow side. I need a system to follow through, and really make this work." So I created this program for anyone who has gone through the book, feels like it resonates with her, mainly with her, like it's for
Yeah.
females. But before we get there, I am also offering a free webinar that dives into the program, the 4 steps that we'll be covering. And the program itself has an online video course component to it. It has one-on-one sessions. It has group coaching calls where we explore more archetypes and more goddess work. And then we have a community where we can share our wins and share progress, because in your work that accountability and really sticking to what you said you will go through is crucial to actually getting the results that you were looking for in the first place. So
Yeah.
that's why we have this component as well. But the program's like the last step, because I really first need women to think about, to really dive deep in the archetypes, look for them in
Mm,
themselves,
mm.
then take it a step further, see the
Mm.
webinar, see if it aligns with your values, with what you're looking for, and even if it is at the right time and the right place for you, because not everyone will need this work or is ready for it, or maybe past that point. So it's a different situation for everyone. But yeah, there are a couple of steps that you can take on your own before we can connect for further conversations. But I welcome everyone to at
Yeah.
least do these steps by yourself, and I'll be happy to get connected with anyone who wants to dig even deeper and get the more practical side, because in the
Mm.
program we go into financial strategies, practices, tips, tricks, up to a point where I teach my students how they can start even investing by themselves
Oh, wow.
using a strategy that's been tested and proven for a long, long time. It's not, I didn't make it up. I learned it, I practiced it, and so I'm open to happy to teach it to others as well.
Sure. Okay, that's awesome. All those links will be in the description below, so please go and have a look at that. And then, of course, Vicky's socials. So if you want to follow her and just binge her a little bit and stalk her a little bit to see what's happening, we've got all the socials. I've got her website down, um, all the things that you need to connect with Vicky. Thank you so much. That was just such a beautiful, beautiful talk. It just gets a person inspired, right? Just to find out what goddess do I resonate with and how can I tap into energy to enhance whatever I want to do. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Vicky. That was such a lovely, informative talk. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. For sure, going to go and check out what my goddess is. And is there anything else you would like to share before we say goodbye? Is there anything that comes to mind that you would like some advice for the audience or something that just comes through?
Thank you so much, Yvette, for having me
Oh,
here. It's a real pleasure to talk to you. I can feel like this conversation is giving me so much. I don't know. I'm hopeful that everyone watching is getting their own value of out of what we are talking about. And the last thing that I want to leave viewers and listeners with is that there is a goddess in every single woman. It's a specific blend. And once you get to tap into her and you get to understand your own money mindset and behavior and your story, your money story, it just becomes so much easier and clear for you to know what to do next. Like, what's the next step? But you have to go through this work so that you can get rid of the confusion and the clarity and all that financial noise that's out there. So just, yeah, take a moment, do the inner work, exploration work first. And I hope this is of value to everyone out there. And I'm really excited to be on this journey with everyone around me.
oh, it's wonderful. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Drop all your comments below so that we can get back to you if there's any confusion or any questions you have. Otherwise, reach out to Vicky directly. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Vicky, for coming on. Believe in your magic. Tons of love. Bye, everybody.